Watch this scene from the beginning of Tumbbad. A mother is carrying her dying son to get medical help. The characters' faces are illuminated by an oil lamp and they are walking into what seems like a perpetual darkness. At this point, having established their house is in an isolated open field located far from the main village, you do start to think, how is she going to commute? It's only after she reaches this spot that you learn there was indeed a carriage waiting in the dark in the scene the whole time. So, narratively speaking, you as an audience member are as much in the dark as the characters. Just 15 minutes into the movie, and you already feel trapped in this eerie world. Why is that? A scene like this may seem ordinary, but it encompasses the overall creative thinking that went into making this the most hauntingly beautiful horror film of India. So, in this video, let's explore how these various visual elements play a trick on our minds and play a crucial role in Tumbbad's achievement. The director Rahi Anil Barve and cinematographer Pankaj Kumar shot all the scenes set in the village of Tumbbad without direct sunlight. It is always dark or cloudy, so there is little to no difference between a day and night. The light itself feels wrong, and the village and these characters feel doomed from the start. Rewatch the movie and you will notice even the artificial sources of light that the makers used are limited to oil lamps or firelights. The camera treats the dark not as an absence of light but as a physical daunting presence. By lightening the characters with a flickering oil lamp, the film strips away our power as viewers, trapping us in the exact same radius of fear as these characters. It creates empathy for these characters almost instantly. In several other key scenes, the firelight casts dancing erratic shadows on the walls, making the location, the scene feel alive, claustrophobic, and deeply sinister. The only exception to this theme is just one scene involving a British officer, and Britain is quite well known for its gloomy weather, so the only one shot of a pleasant weather involves a British character. Quite ironical if you ask me. To make our anxiety worse, the film employs another technique, perpetual rain. This is something that many movies like Seven, Blade Runner, Memories of Murder have used brilliantly. It has the same effect here as well. It creates atmospheric dread, where the rain itself feels like an oppressive, inescapable threat. And what makes this rain special in Tumbbad is that Pankaj Kumar specifically avoided shooting in artificial rain. They shot the entire movie across multiple monsoon seasons, extending the production timeline as well to capture real rainfall with authentic overcast skies, which adds consistent, dreary atmosphere. Drenching a character in rain visually strips them of comfort. So this backdrop of rain-beaten Konkan village creates a feeling of isolation, melancholy, and vulnerability, and that raises the emotional stakes of the movie. The choice of lighting we talked about earlier, the deep, dark, and impenetrable shadows paired with high contrast light, it's something called Chiaroscuro Effect in cinema. It's a very old technique used brilliantly in many movies. The technique helps separate the characters from the background without the need of complex sets. It heightens the sense of claustrophobia and tension and guides our eyes to focus on the key story elements. To complement this lighting technique, the film's color palette also plays a very crucial role in conveying the mood. It's not static. The color palette evolves alongside the narrative's descent into moral corruption. The makers employed 4 primary color schemes here: blue and cold grey, which dominate the exterior rainy sequences, establishing the bleak, woebegone world of Tumbbad village. And on the other spectrum, they used red and gold prominently within the treasure chamber or the goddess's womb. These angry blood tones symbolize the lure of forbidden wealth and the inherent danger of Vinayak's obsession. The framing in Tumbbad alternates between expansive wide shots that emphasize the grandiosity of something significant and tight close-ups that capture the primal fear of the characters. For example, this shot of Vinayak standing in front of this old ancient Vada or the wide-angle shots of open fields of this Konkan village. Vast frames like these showcase the sweeping, lonely landscapes of the region. But as Vinayak's greed starts to consume him, the camera closes in. The scenes move to narrow spaces, narrow corridors, and the frames become tight. So, through such framing, the camera traps Vinayak within his own wealth, visually communicating that his greed has built a cage around him long before Hastar ever claims him. Now, other than the horror elements, the level of detailing they have achieved overall in entirety of the movie with such a small budget is really praiseworthy. For example, there is this 2 or 3 second blink and you miss type of a shot showcasing the pre-independence Pune city in its full glory. Vinayak's house or Wada in Pune also feels very authentic, and I know because मी मराठीचा आहे आणि पुण्यात माझं अर्ध आयुष्य गेलंय. Even the costumes, the hairstyles, the houses in Pune, the roads, the alleyways, the objects, the activities in the background, everything was built so perfectly. It really made me feel like traveling back in time and experiencing the true old glory of Pune. And to top it all, there is even a Puneri party in one scene. Puneri party is basically an iconic style of signboards, famous for its dry wit, razor sharp sarcasm, and bluntness. And so all these visual elements, this kind of detailing really leaves an impression on you, and you can't forget this imagery years after watching the movie. You will still remember many iconic shots like Vinayak's descent into the Devi's womb, the confrontation with Hastar, or even that eerie shot of a tree growing out of Dadi's body. So the visual beauty of Tumbbad we see is a product of years of rigorous commitment to a specific aesthetic vision. By favoring the natural elements, the authentic textures, and the meticulously crafted color palette, Rahi Anil Barve achieved a level of immersion rarely seen in the genre. Now, some other recent honorable mentions do come to mind for this category. Movies like Bulbul and Brahmayugam, I think they were also shot very beautifully. But Tumbbad is definitely few notches above the rest of them. Alright, so that's my 2 cents on the beauty of Tumbbad. Let me know in the comments what are other favorite scenes or movies that you appreciate for their visual composition. And if you also appreciate Indian and global cinema like me, please hit that like button and subscribe for more such content. भाई सब्सक्राइब कर वरना हस्तर आ जाएगा.